It's been so long since the pandemic, and now things are opening back up and people are playing shows. I'm watching on social media and I'm seeing a lot of my friends and finding out about new artists and people I've never met yet out there kicking ass and playing shows and riling people up, and I want to go play.
Norman loves instruments, and he needed a place to house all those instruments. And the garage became the home of all the instruments.
I've always had a garage, but it started as like just a bunch of boxes. And as I was starting to learn band instruments and starting to invite people over to try and play music with me, we needed space, so we started unpacking more of the boxes or just throwing stuff out, not being a hoarder, you know. This room started to form.
It started with, especially with the drums, Norman has many sisters, and so he'd be banging on the drums inside the house and they'd be like, shut that shit up, cut it out. So he moved everything to the garage to be kind of, further away, to lighter on his family. And it just became a home for all the instruments and for us as well, all our friends.
I always invited people by. The pandemic shut down a lot of things for people. Live performances stopped happening. People had to mask up. People couldn't go out. Venues closed or went out of business or weren't doing shows or weren't even open at all.
I was blown away. I mean, Norman had, 10, 15 guitars on the wall. He had a piano in the middle of the room, a grand piano. I think it's a baby grand. 2 drum sets, an electric drum set and an acoustic drum set, amps all around, wires everywhere, and then pictures, just beautiful pictures, really nice frame pictures of musicians like Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles, and nice landscapes, and all these televisions everywhere that were playing different movies, and I'm just like, this is insane.
Jesus. I love this. Everything's plugged in. I can just
Yeah, I've been teching all day.
And this is really what I walked in the Matrix reloaded of all of them. Yeah.
I wanted to play some of my favorite songs throughout all of time. It was like a blind audition.
I was told we'd be sacrificing a goat, so I'm waiting for that.
The intention was to get some of the best players I know in the same room and just have a little bit of fun. In order for me to put together a group to go and play shows in a post-pandemic era, the audition for that is, how does it sound when we play popular songs together? That was the challenge. I looked through my list, I called Danny on the drums, I got Darnell in here on bass, I called old friend Ian to do some keyboards, and a new friend, Rich, who was interested in playing some live shows and playing some lead guitar. But we just didn't have an act together yet or anything.
Back in the days, we used to use Craigslist as a networking platform or site for musicians to get together. I used to post ads to whole jam sessions and stuff. And then I ran across Norman's ad, and then I heard one of his songs, and he wanted to collab with other musicians. So I answered his ad, came down, and we jammed a few times. And then we kind of lost touch for a while, and then he reached out to me recently.
Norman and I first met in 2015. He was hosting a jam session in his old garage. So I came by with a friend, and we had a good session, and it was, it was love at first jam.
Yeah. Yeah.
was better than I could have imagined. People trusted their instincts and just let their love light shine. And they did what they do. They showed their gifts, and we were able to capture it on 8 microphones in a Pro Tools session so that we could play it back. When they were able to hear themselves back, they were blown away at how well we played together, you know, so that was very exciting. It's very exciting when the chemistry is good and the players sync up together, whether they knew the music or not, because that was part of the challenge. No practice, off the top of your head. How do you just represent yourself? Blind audition, you know.
Recording some good songs. I like Norman's songs, so I think just, you know, gagging them tight and laying them down in a good way. I don't really have any expectation beyond that, but I know we'll make good music. So.
Thursday was about dusting off and getting back into being ready and getting that live atmosphere back, getting that when the songs start to jump off the tracks, getting that chemistry between players. From the audition process to it working out, to us having a follow-up, to everyone deciding that we're all in together, is about gearing up to play some shows and go back out there and really see, you know, how this affects people. How can we grow our base?
It's so important though to like actually get out and play with people, because I don't do that. You know, this is the only jam session I've attended in I don't know how many years.
Well, it hasn't been normal lately either.
And everyone knows jam session's such a dirty word.
When I moved over here, closer to the Forum, I found a new set of people that were interested in coming by to make music with me. People that were in the area, rappers, guitar players, bass players, drummers. So I found myself surrounded by a handful of artists, individual artists, everybody with their own certain passions.
We'd like to welcome you. We'd like to welcome you to the show tonight. Are you ready? We've got a show for you tonight. Oh, baby, the woman's eyes.
At some point I started to record my rehearsals. If it was possible to record the rehearsal, once we get going, I'm gonna hit that space bar and the Pro Tools is gonna start running. But I have 4 drum mics, one on the snare, one on the kick, overhead left, overhead right. I have a mic on the bass amp, a mic on my guitar amp, a mic on the lead guitar amp, and then a line from the mixer running in, and the mixer's got all the live microphones and the keyboards in the room.
In that process, I was kind of like, damn, I want to keep coming now. I want to be here all the time.
There are many good memories that I have from Norman's Garage, especially from our younger days, and to, you know, be older now, grown, and still have like that garage vibe. I think it's a good blessing. Yeah.
Just chill, vibe, talk to musicians, you know, or you could work, you know, have fun, I should say. Play instruments, rap, sing, you know, just do anything. I was like, bro, this is insane. Like, how do people not know about this?
When I gather the type of people that I gather together, these are guys that I have played around town. So it's about getting a game plan together and saying, hey, which environment would be the best to play in, given what we're bringing to the table, and pulling all our resources together. It's a little bit of the old and new and something blue, you know. It's what we got going tonight, you know. And and I'm just so thankful to have you guys. And it's like a little bit of everything.
Dude,
but
I'm so honored that you keep like inviting me out, and I just don't even. A lot of times I just don't even know what to say. I can't say no, but I just can't like get out.
Tonight's the night, man, and I'm so grateful. I appreciate it so much. The opportunities that are presenting themselves now, and the people that are showing up to support me is showing me that I survived it. I made it out of the tunnel, made it through to the other side, and I'm getting my grip back on reality and my place in it and how I would like to go forward. And I'm just so thankful that I know so many wonderful folks that answer the call and show up and step up to the challenge to bring this music to life. However, in the past, going in that direction has certain projects don't get off the ground. People don't have certain motivations. The more chefs there are in the kitchen, you know, the harder it gets to create or to have a clear strategy or a path. Some people don't want the same goals as you. And sometimes the more people that are involved, the harder it is to get a project off the ground. I'm not supposed to be telling people what to do. They are who they are, and they do what they do, and that's why I asked them to be here, and that's it. They let me do that better than ever when we combine together. With this Norman Lankford Jr. live project, we're getting ready to show what we've learned and what we've studied and show our gifts and what we can do. And not any one person shine, but we all shine together because everyone who's involved has something special about what they can do. And not just about what they can do themselves, but when we put it together, there's a magic. Here we have a safe place in the room to work on ideas and develop ideas and work together and see what it sounds like. You know, that's like, we had to bring ourselves back. We had to hang on to our skills and our gifts. There's music, but it's also a music business. You know, sometimes you gotta work smarter, not harder. It's not always about just getting together in the garage and making noise. You know, what's the point of that if there is no plan?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I had to fix a lot of things this morning, 'cause they were so scrambled. But now it's okay. I tell you I've got enough to do. The afternoon was filled out with phone calls. What a hot, sticky day. Oh, yeah, yeah. The air is cooling down. We'll take all the time you need. It's a lovely night if you decide to go. We're gonna do it right, drive for a couple miles. We see the sun and turn left for a couple blocks. Next is right, you go left on a little road. It's a bumpy road, you'll see a white fence. Through the gate you drive through on the left side. Come right in and you finally hit my house away. Keep it busy right away. I get a lot of thoughts in the morning.
Everybody was nervous, including myself, you know, and we were reading. But if you listen to those tapes, it sounds like we've been playing that stuff together for a long time. You know, it sounds like everybody is real comfortable and natural in their role.
I think I'll make a call. Well, I wrote a number down, but I lost it, so I searched through my pocketbook. I couldn't find it, so I sat and concentrated on the number, and suddenly it came to me. So I dialed it and I let it ring a few times. There was no answer, so I let it ring a little more.
Sometimes when you get a project together, you're lucky if it lasts for more than a year, because people's lives change and they have, you know, responsibilities and everything else. But working together creatively isn't always easy. The vibe's gotta be right. I've had plenty of projects where I had such high hopes, but sometimes the vibes got off, or people have their own agendas toward their own personal goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. No shame in your game. Like, when being artistic and creative, you need to follow your heart and your gut and do what you gotta do. And sometimes that leads people apart, sometimes that brings people together.